Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Serena Speak. I'm your host, Serena. Um, Today we're going to have a great show with an honored guest. As you all know, we should support and love our troops, any veteran or anyone in any kind of armed forces, because they keep us safe. They ensure our freedom and our way of life that we know. As of America, we have a great country, and we have great people that go out each and every day and serve our country, doing great things, amazing things, and they come back home, and after the parade, some don't even have a parade, but after the parade, after the cheers and the jeers, and what do they have? Some of their jobs that they left are no more. They have no work, and therefore they become our homeless, our rejected, our misused, and just unappreciated. There's no exception, there's no excuse for it. We live in a great nation where we are the baddest. Do you hear me? The baddest in the world. We can go and take over and do whatever we please, whatever we choose, because of the people that risk their lives and give their lives for us. A lot of us don't have the heart that these people have and go and just, I'm passionate about this because no one that has went and served any kind of armed forces give up their lives and their children's lives, miss out on so many milestones, and not only 1 year, but 10 years, and then come back to nothing, no kind of support, no kind of system set in place, and then they become homeless and displaced, and it just, it's senseless. And today we have a honored guest, truly honored guest, because she has went and fought for us, no matter what was her, occupation in the Army. She went and she risked her life for us and came back, and with her struggles, and let me just say this. This is up and foremost. This is first and foremost. These people go and they see so much traumatic things. I can't even explain to you what these people see. You go on YouTube and see what the troops are sending back to you, showing you what they see, giving you a glimpse into their lives. Or if you know anyone that has served the armed forces, get a glimpse. Just ask them. And it's horrible. And you have to think of what kind of effect does that take on one's mind. We are all human. There are no computers in this life that has a human heart. We have a soul. We have a spirit. And the things that we see and subject ourselves to, it correlates that. It affects that. So don't think that these people are coming back whole. They're coming back with holes in them because their mind has been affected by the war. And then their family has to deal with the post-traumatic stress, because that's what it is. Their family has to deal with that. And not only that, it's just really too much. But not only the family, then you have to find these people that has become mentally disabled a working place. And how can you work if you've seen flashes of brains and legs and limbs and, open bodies, just body parts here, body parts there? How can you function in a normal pace, in a normal society, a regular society, when you have went and given up your life as a whole? Because not only physically are you changed, because some of them are really hurt, and not only physically are you changed, you are forever changed mentally, forever, regardless if you are not in the armed service and you're just a normal person and you kill someone. No matter how bad you think you are, trust me, and I'm speaking from experience, trust me, that even if you're trying to save your own life, that affects you. And I want to speak firsthand to this lovely lady, Miss Loretta White, and I'd like to, welcome her right now.
Hi, thank you.
Hi,
Thank
Miss
you.
White.
I am Loretta White. How are you?
How are you, ma'am? How are you?
I'm hanging in there, honey. I'm hanging in there.
Well, Miss White, we're going to get right into this story. Could you please give my listeners a little insight of yourself and just your career? What was your position in the Army? How long you held that position? And what did it do to you as a human being and also as a woman?
Okay. Well, as you know, I am Loretta White. I'm a female veteran that served 10 years in the U.S. Army.
Wow.
I volunteered in 1978. And
wow.
I enlisted while I was a senior in high school. And I'm not realizing at that time that my life would no longer be mine to make independent decisions. I celebrated my 18th birthday in boot camp, basic training, right after graduation. I went in thinking that it was going to be the perfect place for me to travel and meet new people. And I cried. I was scared. I wanted to go back home during basic training. I called my mother and father. They said, no, you can do it. They prayed and prayed and prayed. That's what they do. So they prayed me through it. Now, I was raised as a Christian child, believing in God and love only. I didn't know anything about abuse. I didn't know it even existed until 1981. And like I said, I went in 79.
What happened in 1981 that affected you?
In 1981, I married another soldier, and after I gave birth to our first child, and that's when I actually started being abused. And actually, I lived with abuse every day. I tried to tell his company. No one listened. They didn't believe it. And at that day and time, in the early 1979, well, late 79, and the early 80s, you couldn't really just go and tell on another male soldier because we were just as female soldiers just now being incorporated in with the male soldiers. So no one actually listened to my story and believed me. So I lived with it for 8 years, abuse almost every day. And so basically, if it wasn't for my family, actually, it took them a while actually to believe it as well, but because a lot of people think that while you're in the military, everything is just perfect and you have a job, you're making money, you're big time, but that's a part of the post-traumatic stress. So I complained to all the commanders and no one listened. So after the 8th year, when I actually thought one of my children were going to be, life was actually threatened, I actually pleaded because I thought I was about to have a heart attack after that. And they listened and they did something about it then. But when I got out as a veteran, no one believed it. I didn't know anything about post-traumatic stress in 89 when I got out. So as a veteran, that's when my struggles really began. And that's why this veteran project that I'm working on, is so vital. And because I was in a homeless veteran transitional program for 2 years in Cocoa a few years ago. And I just recently received housing because of the Obama program. And it's a part of that program that I'm able to have a house right now. And I started the stage play productions because I listened to quite a few of the veterans. There were 79 other homeless veterans that I lived with. I was the only female. My children were not allowed to even live with me, so they were still homeless. So there was such a big issue. There was no resources. No one could find us anything, and I fell between the cracks, along with a lot of other veterans. So now the reason why I'm doing the stage play production title From Tent to Tent is to allow all veterans available and willing to be in a production to tell their story live on stage in a production format where we're going to show how we went from being a soldier, which represents the tent, going to the homeless tent in the woods, basically where most of them suffer. I didn't happen to go that far in the woods, but I lived in an abandoned house. I went through a lot of different things, and so did my children. I was diagnosed with chronic PTSD, which means it lasted over 2 to 3 years. I've been diagnosed for 9 years and have been fighting the claims.
Let me ask you this. Let me just say this. That's a very unique stage.
You're breaking up. I can't
allow them to tell their real story on stage.
Say again? You're breaking up. Hello? Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Miss White?
Yes. My phone is breaking up. Can you hear me?
Okay, guys. It seems like we have lost Miss White, and I don't think it's because of her. I think we are experiencing some technical difficulties. I'm not sure what just happened. But this
Hello?
lady is... Hello, Miss White? Hello? Hello?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Take me to
Hello?
take me to take me to
Hello?
take me to
Hello? Hello. Hello.
Hello. Loretta?
Yes, I'm finally back. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I want to apologize to you. It knocked both of us off. It totally shut down and froze up, and then it kicked me off. And then I was calling back in to the host, and it wouldn't let me in, so I called in as a listener. This is crazy. Blog Talk, you really need to get this together. But I just wanted to commend you on, what you came up with for the guests. I mean, for your veterans, far as that's so unique, having them on stage telling their story. And I want to apologize to you over and over again, but I'm gonna do better than that. I would love to have you on a later date. Would that be okay with you?
Oh, sure, sweetheart. Sure, that would be great. And plus,
would Monday be good for you? Monday or Sunday?
Monday would be absolutely marvelous. It really would be.
Okay, and we don't have to wait. I customize it to your time so we can do it on, at your time. We don't even have to wait till late 11 o'clock, so late. I apologize to you again, but I want to ask you, what was your job in the Army? What did you do?
Well, I was traffic management. I dealt with everything. I had to give clearances and do paperwork on everything that moved in the military, period. Every branch of service, everything that moved. I was always with the garrison units, always with the high officials. I had to have a secret clearance and everything like that and that's what I tell people when I get out. I had to have such a great job. We were trained by the Department of Defense, knowing so much, and then when we get out here, as veterans, they treat us like we're just nothing and dummies. And I'm like,
and then you learned all that, and you didn't even have a job when you got home. You didn't have any work.
They didn't tell us what to do when we got out. We didn't know what to do and that's the thing that we're showing in the stage play. See, we were trained to work together as one. You see what I'm saying? So
as a unit.
It was like,
that's right, as a unit.
Yes. So when we came out, and that's what I'm showing in the play, it's almost like we're completely lost. It's like we were programmed a certain way, and when we got out, they didn't deprogram us, so we were sort of really messed up, and a lot of us suffered with post-traumatic stress, so we had that mental problem on top of it.
Yes.
And didn't even know it.
Mhm. Mhm.
We didn't know what
and then
was.
the other thing about mental problems, mental disabilities, a lot of people don't want to address it. A lot of people like to ignore it, thinking that it will get better. It does not get better. It gets worse. Without medication or without the proper counseling, your problems only enlarge, and it does not, deplete in any kind of way. You must get help for your mental disabilities. Any kind of mental problem, you must seek out help.
Mhm. Yes,
so
and I'm in a great
program.
So
how did you seek out help? And how did you? And let me ask you this: how did you become homeless?
Well, actually, I was trying to help. I was always trying to help people in the community because families that were around my kids and stuff. It was a lot of abuse going on in different households, and I tried to help youth actually. So basically, they told that I was helping people, giving them a place to live. So ironically enough, I became homeless 4 days before Christmas, and my family and I were just left to do whatever, and that's what happened. We, by us helping others, we became homeless, and it's, I'm not sad about it. I wasn't angry. Because I was going to I help people anyway, so that was not anything I was going to be angry about. And I said, well, God has something for me. He has a better thing for me. So, and that's all I could do. But I suffered because I couldn't get help from anyone. All the government agencies, organizations that say they help, no one helped us. And that was the saddest thing about the whole thing. No one helped us. And we struggled so much. And as a veteran, I didn't know what was available to me. I had no idea.
Wow. So do they have resources in place for veterans right now when they come home? Have it modernized at all for you veterans when you come home? Oh, okay, that's great. Awesome.
Yeah, that's what we're starting. That's why I just started this organization, Veterans Are Mad Incorporated, and that's what it's for. Veterans are making a difference. And what we're doing is connecting veterans with organizations so no one will fall again. No one. No, we're just working on that right now. So
you know, it is what it is one of my favorite mottos. But another one of my favorite mottos, me being from the ghetto, from the project, it's never leave any man behind. I have a big problem with, leaving anybody behind, so I'll stay to the last man if you're the only person there. I'm going to be there with you until, it's time for us to go. That's how I believe. We come together, we lead together. And, I mean, as the Army, I get that motto. The world knows this motto. That's the Army's motto. We never leave any man behind. But when you bring these veterans home and not have any resources, and there are just, they're not deprogrammed, and they're walking around still with the fighting, mentality in their mind, you're leaving a man behind because you left that man behind in Afghanistan or Iraq or wherever he was stationed at. You left him behind because when he come home and don't have anything, I mean, you left him. You're not standing by them. And so the government, I'm talking directly to you, I'm not scared. You need to do more, you need to do better for our veterans because they deserve it. If it was not for them, we would not be able to do what we do every day, and that's enjoy our freedom, even though it's not appreciated.
That's right. Isn't that something? Isn't that something?
Yeah, that is something. Right. That is something. So let me ask you, how long have you started your program? How long has your program been in place? And I'm gonna just say this: the program is about to stop airing live, but I always say this every program. You can always come back and listen to it on demand, and you will be able to hear the whole program. And we will have this lovely lady back next Monday. So, how long have your program been in place?
Well, we actually just started this particular one from 10 to 10 was about 3 months ago, and the first show is the 27th of this month, and we're going to be going from Memorial Day to Veterans Day to represent.
Okay, and what all states will you be performing at?
We're going in every state that will have us, and that's because we're doing it 7 months. And we're going everywhere that someone, and we're getting a lot of organizations that are willing to be a part of it, sponsor us. Just like I said, I'm coming to Atlanta. Believe that. We're already planning it. So I'll be in Atlanta as well. So we're going to every state that we can possibly get in. We sure are. And they're coming, calling us in every day, saying, okay, we want to join forces. We want you here because this is a very big issue. No one has ever done this because we're having artists actually write patriotic songs for homeless veterans. So that's what we're doing right now, having artists, as many that would like to join us, and that's how we're going to do the tour. And they're going to be performing it. We're going to do soundtracks and everything. Yeah.
So how did you get from being an intelligence officer in the Army to being a playwright? Like, what? What happened?
Now that's a story. Now, that was because I became homeless, just like Tyler Perry did. And the only thing that gave me hope was to see what he had did. And I was writing my stories down and my hurt and pain just like he did. I mean, it happened just like his. And I started writing. I had my first play, and it was basically just like him. Only the people that I knew came. And then after that, I wanted to give up so bad, but I was like, no way am I giving up. And I put his bio on my wall, and I looked at it every single day. I said, no, I'm going to do it. I said, if Tyler Perry can do it, come from homelessness, and do it, I can do it too. So every day, I cried and I prayed and I read that bio that Tyler Perry had, and I said, I can do it too. And so I've had 2 plays since, and people have loved it, and they say, oh, my gosh, you're going to be a female Tyler Perry. I said,
yeah.
Honey,
I hope you get that Tyler Perry check, baby. When you do, don't do shit about me. Don't leave me behind.
I tell you, but that's where I've been wanting to come for the longest, and I really wanted to meet him. And my first play was called Dress to Kill, similar to his story. His actual life story was people judging, and not knowing who you are. And that's the thing. He was homeless, and people judged him and not knowing that he was going to end up being who he is right now. But he had that knowledge still as a homeless person, such as myself. People talked about me, dogged me out, and here I was trained by the Department of Defense with all kinds of knowledge and intelligence, but they judged me and treated me like I was the dumbest thing on earth because I did not have a house at the time. So that
what happened? What happened? How did you become homeless? Like, what happened? How did you get in
I
that
had
position?
I was in a housing program because, see, I did not know I suffered with a mental health issue, which is PTSD.
Okay.
I did not know what it was. And I kept trying to get disability because I couldn't work. I didn't understand why I couldn't stay on the job. So the disability, they kept on denying like they do everybody else's. So it kept putting me down further and further and further, and to a very serious depressed mode. So I couldn't do nothing but stay in a depressed mode because I didn't know what was wrong with me. So now, and I lost my housing because I had Section 8 housing because I couldn't work. So, and when I got my daughter and some of the children I was helping in the community, and the neighbors said, well, she has children she's helping there, and then they didn't ask me no questions. They just put me right out. So, and it just happened like that, and I became homeless just like that. But, 4 days before Christmas, we were out on just done. And we didn't know where we were going to go, how we were going to do it, or what. We had no clue. So,
why wasn't your kids allowed in your housing? I didn't understand that.
No, at the transitional housing, they weren't, because that's when I found out there is a serious problem with the resources that were available a few years ago when I became homeless, and the transitional housing program for veterans was just that, just for the veteran. So that means they didn't even have anything for the children. I'm like, well, how in the world?
You know why? Excuse me, I'm sorry, Ms. White. Excuse me, let me just say this. You know why? Because it's designed for men, and that's kind of discriminative,
Exactly. Exactly.
That's crazy.
Yes, it is.
Don't take a rocket scientist.
So that's why we're changing the program. That's why the program I'm doing is to help the entire families with transitional housing, housing programs, mentoring programs for the youth that are, because they suffer, if the parents suffer with post-traumatic stress or whatever disorder they suffer, so did the entire family. And that's just like people with bipolar. If the one person in the family has it, everybody in the family will have that. And people don't understand it because it's the same thing. So if I have it, my kids have.
That's right, because they have to live with it. They have to deal with it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing out there helping the family members. They're leaving them out there, so they're wondering about crimes. They're wondering about all these other things, but they never think about what the cause is. So that's a part of the stage play production. We're putting all of this stuff in the production so people could see it. Because a lot of times when they see it on paper, they're not really paying attention to it. But when they actually see it right there in their faces, that's why we have to do a tour, because we got to make sure everybody sees this and understands it. And this is not just an entertainment production. This is actually an education production. It's educating the communities and showing what the resources are and what the community can do to help. because it's going to need the entire community. It's just like the president. He can't fix the whole world by himself. So that it takes all of us to do our part.
But speaking of Barack, I want to ask you this: have you reached out to him and made him aware of your program? Because I really think you guys need to reach out to him.
I am trying my best. I have sent a letter. I'm trying to even get a letter in the Washington Post or something, because I said at least if it gets in the newspaper up there, then I can at least have a chance. Because I've written a letter and I sent it to the Washington Post, the Office of Veterans Affairs.
Call. If you have a problem, call. Try to call. Try to speak with one of his liaisons or one of his interns. Try to speak to someone, and maybe you can generate a buzz in the White House that will reach him.
Well,
that's just a thought. Me, I'm a person, I feel like there's a will, there's a way. I remember being young, and they cut my food stamps off. You know what I did? I called the mayor. You don't play with me. I'm hungry. What, man? Give me my stamp. Get what? I called the mayor. I'm serious. The mayor office. And you know what? They cut my stamp back on that same day. Let me call the White House for you. I get them on the line.
Oh, my God. I'll tell you. I had never thought about that.
I'm being honest. Shoot. I'm going to keep it real.
I know. That's why I want to get in the media, in every form of media I can, because the more, just like what you're doing by spreading the word through your radio show and everything, this is the first biggest opportunity I've had so far, is through your service. So
your story, I can tell you this. I don't know if the White House is listening, but I know it's somebody in Afghanistan or China or Russia. Africa especially, they love me in Africa. Big women in Africa mean you got money, so they think I'm rich. My inbox be on fire. I can't understand what. I'm serious. I'm talking about they be typing French and all. Man, I'm from America. But I can guarantee you in Africa, baby, you are all over Africa. They hearing you. But I think you should reach out to the president. I just think you should reach out to him so he can further your cause.
That would be great, and that's what I'm trying. That's why I need to get the media there. And I don't know how. We're going to have to get you on some more shows. Maybe it's someone listening that would love you on their show also, because we kind of stick together, and support each other in this internet radio business. And it is a profession, and it's a growing profession. And if anyone is listening, please have her on, because, her story needs to be told. And it's something that, we all are really one step away from homelessness. But for a veteran to go and fight and put up with our government and be trained to be one of the elite of the government and come home and have to face homelessness, that's heartbreaking. And I feel like we as a people can do so much better. We can do so much more for each other and never leave any man behind. And if you put that in your mind and focus on your fellow man as a people, as a person, as a whole person, I think we could do great things for each other. Like, we got to stop thinking about self. It got to be us. Right.
It got to be we. It's never me, because there's no me in team.
That's right.
There's no me in team. So I commend you for thinking about, not only you getting yourself together, but thinking about others that was in your same story, in your same shoes, and you kind of, you just emoted and felt their pain. Your empathy was great, and I want to thank you for just being you and loving your fellow man and trying to make an outlet for them to express themselves, and not only express themselves, but entertain us and also get their story out. That's beautiful.
You're right. I never thought about it like that.
Beautiful thing. You are really doing a beautiful thing, and God is going to bless you for that. I have no doubt in my mind about that. I want to thank you for coming on. I'm so sorry for the 10-minute loss because I could swear it seemed like 10 minutes, that we lost. But we're going to make that up to you and let you continue to tell your story. If you would like to bring someone else on and talk about it with you, let them tell their story or something, that's fine too. That's fine too. And, maybe we can start doing something just with the veterans. Maybe I could implement you in a day and we just co-host the show together and have your veterans come on and tell their story one by one.
That would be, you just don't know. That would be such a wonderful thing. Because no one actually ever reached out to me. I'm saying nobody has ever reached out to me. So that would be just truly the best, ever.
Yeah, I'm just a little bitty internet radio show, but you know what? They wouldn't open the door, so I kicked it in. And you know what? You got to start kicking in some doors yourself.
I know, and I am going to do it. I'm not going to stop. I am going to do it.
Let me ask you more about your play. How long is it?
Well, actually, it can be adjusted from 30 minutes to 2 hours because by me writing it, I write it based on situations, the area that I'm going to be in. Remember, because we're going from place to place, just like they have homeless stand-downs, and they want me to do a skit during the lunch hour. So I'll make that like a 30-minute one, so I could do one outside. I could do it at a theater. I could do it in a community center. So it depends on where. Yes, I can adjust it any kind of way. I'm a great playwright, I must add, and I love it because, I can do that, and that's why you think about having your own thing, huh? Just like the radio, you can do your own thing.
Yes, that's what I was saying about my show. Like, I love having my own thing because I can do whatever I want. Like I said, I usually have my show on Wednesdays, but I can do whatever I want. I can have it on whatever day I choose and at whatever time. So you're more than welcome to come back, and we're going to try to get something implemented where we have just the Veterans Day, and it's not going to be
nice.
Yes, that's a Veterans Day, and when you come in and you bring someone that's in your play or a veteran that that would love to get their story out and heard.
That would be the greatest thing ever.
Yes, God, like I told you, God, gave me any kind of platform to help anyone. I am here. I am here to help because I know how it is to be alone and I know how it is not to be helped. So, right now I'm not getting paid for this. God is paying me with each and every blessing that I bestow upon someone. God blesses me because my heart smiles. And when your heart smiles, there's nothing going on in your life that can ever deter your smile. And I want to thank you for coming on. We're about to end this episode. I apologize to you, but I want to welcome you back Monday, and we're going to have you bring another veteran to tell their story, and we're going to just try to kick something off, and maybe we can get Obama's attention. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. That is just truly wonderful, and I appreciate it. But like I said, when we come down to Atlanta, we're going to get out there.
We're going to tear them streets up, girl.
What you already know we are, because we don't play. Be hungry.
We mad and making a difference.
That's right. That's absolutely right. But we're going to get all the supplies and equipment we need. That's what we're going to do. We got to get this stuff done.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so
I'm already have people working on that